broadcasting at 107.9 from Ottawa, Ontario. This is CKDJ FM.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Oh, it's live, pal.
This is getting on debate all day. Hi, this is Bob Baffley. Hey, everyone, this is Rick Stein.
This is Honky Tonk Man, the greatest WWE Intercontinental Champion of all time.
This is your wrestling show, Ottawa.
Heck, they could use you guys over at WWE.
You're listening to the greatest wrestling show in the whole wide world.
This is Wrestling with Ideas.
Welcome back inside the CKDJ studios right here for Wrestling with Ideas on CKDJ 107.9 Ottawa's new music. We're back, baby. This is Wrestling with Ideas, episode 130. I am Colin the Music Man. Alongside me, man with no excuses, Jonathan Skews.
That's me, not the D-O-double-G.
And MJB, Matthew Brooks.
Hello.
So we are live, of course, on CKDJ, also on YouTube. Hi, guys. How's it going?
We are not only broadcasting to the Ottawa area, but we are broadcasting to the entire world right now.
That's right.
So come on in, say hello.
Not on the Wrestling with Ideas YouTube account, though. I've started my own YouTube channel called The Music Man. We're broadcasting live there, and then that's going to be put up.
You know what they say about the web? It's worldwide, pal.
Exactly. Now, a couple of bulletins before we get underway with the show today. First off, we'd like to thank our partners at Wrestling 613. They are a great podcast running out of Cornwall, Ontario. Marky Mark and the Smark.
We're going to give them a nice Marty Skrull whoop whoop out to them.
You can check them out every Friday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. Just check them out at facebook.com/wrestling613. And at 8:30 every Friday night, their podcast is uploaded on Google Play, iTunes, and Spotify. As well, we got some t-shirts.
We got t-shirts.
We got a couple of t-shirts. I put together a couple quick t-shirt designs earlier today. You can check that out at wrestlingwithideasshop.com.
With the help of me.
Yeah, not leaking too much into Raw this week, but you know, Heath Slater got kids. We got t-shirts.
Very true. Now, before we get into talking about I don't even know if you can call it TV. But before we get into what happened in WWE programming this week, we do have some sad news to report. Of course, if you have been following the news in the world of wrestling over the past couple of days, you'll know that arguably two of the most influential wrestlers in the world passed away within a mere 24 hours of each other.
Yeah, we starting things off with yesterday, I believe. We had, unfortunately, Dynamite Kid passed away, WWF Tag Team Champion. He was out in All Japan. He was a part of New Japan.
That's true. Yes, Dynamite Kid. Tom Billington was one half of the British Bulldogs.
Everybody likes the British Bulldogs.
One of the most famous tag teams of the 80s.
One of the most famous Bulldogs in all of wrestling.
That's true. And when he wasn't winning titles with Davey Boy Smith, he was having legendary matches with the one and only Tiger Mask.
I saw that. I believe lots of people, I've seen that go around this week, is the Tiger Mask versus Dynamite Kid at Madison Square Garden.
1982, yeah, that's probably the most well-known out of
that video's been making the rounds these days.
Yeah. And then just earlier today, Larry the Axe Hennig.
Larry the Axe, he was father of Mr. Perfect, grandfather of Curtis Axel.
Yeah, so now, John.
Yeah?
I'm assuming you would know a little bit more about Larry Hennig.
I know more about Kurt Hennig than Larry Hennig, but what do you got for me here?
Well, he started in 56. He was trained by the late, great Vern Gagne.
Vern Gagne, I've heard some stories about that guy. You gotta be tough when you're working with Vern.
Definitely true. So, most notably, he was a four-time AWA World Tag Champion, once with Duke Hoffman and 3 times with Harley Race.
Good old Harley Race, another guy you got to be a tough SOB to hang out with.
Very true, and he was inducted as a part of a tag team with Harley Race in 2017 to the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Not the WWE.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be in the Hall. I'm sure they will put him in the Hall of Fame, just like they did last year with all the wrestlers that didn't make it that year.
True. Very, very true. Now, On to what happened this past week.
Still on a sad note, the ratings for WWE television are not going so good these past few weeks.
Very true, of course. Monday Night Raw on, I think it was the 4th, was it this past week? That everybody was saying was probably the worst.
It was the worst to date viewings on a episode of Monday Night Raw. And you were telling me that some stuff was completely rewritten by Vince McMahon before the show even started.
That's very true. I saw something come up on my Twitter this morning saying that Vince McMahon rewrote the entire show hours before it was scheduled to go on air.
Hours. Well, he's still got it, man. He's getting ready. He's writing his XFL scripts too.
His XFL. I love how you're saying it's going to be scripted for that.
Oh, absolutely, it's going to be scripted.
The XFL?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
We'll see Roman Reigns in the XFL. Don't you worry.
What position does he play?
Oh, whatever position he wants, he's Roman Reigns.
So he's going to battle through the leukemia and then play football?
Why not?
Yeah, true. I don't know. Of course, we should probably... Let's go through what happened on Monday Night Raw. Of course, it was in Houston, Texas, and it opened with a 10-bell salute for former President George H.W. Bush.
Yeah.
Michael Cole welcome to the ring, and we were opening with Ronda Rousey and Natalya.
Oh, yeah.
Tamina and Nia Jax.
Now, here's the thing about Ronda Rousey. First of all, Tamina and Nia Jax made quick work of Natalya before there even was a match, so they didn't have to worry about that. But the whole time I was watching this, I'm like, of course, how do you make Ronda look better than her and a friend beating up somebody else and their friend? Why, you get the Riot Squad involved, and then Ronda Rousey can beat up 5 people.
At this point, they're doing... Like, Ronda Rousey is the female Brock Lesnar right now.
Well, she has no contenders. It used to be Asuka, and now it's Ronda Rousey's just taking that place of toughest.
Yeah. Now, does that mean, like, because I think Asuka's in a SmackDown women's match.
Yes, she's in the triple threat.
She's in the triple threat match at TLC.
Yes.
Now, are you saying that we're going to see Ronda Rousey versus Asuka at the Rumble?
No, that is not what I'm saying. Becky's the man. Becky's holding on to that title.
Yeah. Of course, after we come back from commercial break and we saw what happened to Natalya and Ronda, of course that happened. And then we go to the ring, and out comes the new head of the Red Rams women's division, Alexa Bliss.
Oh, yeah, Alexa Bliss's Raw Open Forum, more like Alexa Bliss's Raw Open Boredom. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what it is with Alexa Bliss, but whenever she gets her own segment, it just bombs.
True. Now, to skip most of it, the most important thing that came out of this open forum is that Bayley name-dropped the women's tag titles.
Yeah, I don't know if she was supposed to, but
she did.
She did, and looks like Sasha and Bayley, the boss and hug connection, that's just offensive to The Rock right there.
Well, I think anything involving Bayley would be offensive to The Rock.
Yeah, but yeah, no, the thing about Bayley is she's got her plate full. She can't be hugging it out all the time, so... Well, the thing about Bayley is that she got to have Sasha Banks. The thing with Sasha Banks is she's the boss, but what is she the boss of? She's the boss of nothing. She barely wins matches on Raw anymore. She's getting the up from Bayley. Like, Bayley, who in her own right is a women's champion, but hasn't really done much as of late.
True. Now, this led to a match between Sasha and Bayley versus Nikki and Alicia.
Yeah, this makes me sad because this means that Alicia's not, but unstoppable. He'll be Universal Champion by the end of 2019.
Yeah. Of course, up next we had Scott Dawson versus
don't even
Lucha House Party.
Last week my gripe was with the Nasty Boys, and I've got a new gripe this week, but I have half a gripe with Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party rules is officially the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And it irritates me, and I absolutely despise Lucha House Party. I just can't stand them.
Why though?
Because there's nothing libels the bad guy. Scott Dawson was just doing his job. He came out to wrestle. Then all of a sudden he has to wrestle 3 people? That's not fair.
Now, after this match, after a commercial break, we go to the ring, and GM-elect Baron Corbin.
Yeah,
Mike,
Raw General Manager-elect Baron Corbin, because he can only be elected. He can't actually be Raw General Manager until he beats Braun Strowman after TLC. I've done some snooping around, Scully. I've got an Owen Hart level conspiracy here.
Okay.
Now, Baron Corbin, we all know how he was kind of just all of a sudden constable, and then all of it, by Stephanie McMahon, personally appointed, by the way.
Yeah.
Was constable of Raw. Kurt Angle disappeared for a while, and then he became Raw general manager. This whole thing stinks of backup. I think that originally Baron Corbin was not even supposed to be a part of this. Not even supposed to be on Raw, but they shaved his head and gave him the place that was originally slated for an injured Kevin Owens. This Raw general manager angle has Kevin Owens written all over it. Personally appointed by McMahon, title opportunities, because we all know when Kevin Owens was Universal Champion, how did he win it? Triple H almost gave him the title. This is a Kevin Owens thing written all over it, but unfortunately he got injured, and I think the angle was just so good. Baron Corbin is doing a great job, by the way. Nothing, but this whole thing stinks of Baron Corbin wasn't supposed to be here in the first place. And I think Vince McMahon saw he cut his hair and said, well, let's push this guy, pal. Also, he's an ex-NFL player and, well, XFL, NFL. Maybe we'll see Baron Corbin suit up for St. Louis. That's right, folks. St. Louis got an XFL team. For those of you interested, 8 cities have been revealed to get an XFL team. None of them Canadian yet.
Well,
Yeah, that's just stuff.
they are going to get the team.
We could.
Really?
We could.
Have they rumored that?
Anybody, any city could get a team. This is Vince McMahon.
Fair point.
If Vince McMahon ate a beaver tail in Ottawa once and he's sitting in his office and all of a sudden he thinks of Ottawa, we might get a team.
That's also true. Now, of course, Baron Corbin introduced Drew McIntyre, and then Dolph Ziggler came out to interrupt him. We saw Dolph Ziggler face turn.
We saw Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. What is that, Ludwig Borga? No, we saw Dolph Ziggler face turn, which means that Drew McIntyre is the heel. He's still winning the Royal Rumble. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
But you got to give McIntyre something to do until he wins the Royal Rumble. So we'll get the natural tag team split with a Dolph McIntyre feud. It'll be fun.
Dolph Ziggler wins the singles match between them, and then Balor laughs to the stage as Ziggler crawls up the ramp.
Yeah, Finn Balor with a nice grin on his face. Looked like Balor is starting to climb up the ranks again.
Bobby Roode versus Drake Maverick was
Ooh.
up next. We don't need to talk about that.
Rockstar Spud has a moveset. I don't know why they had to sit through this.
Very true. Of course, after this, we see Dean Ambrose in a Bane-like...
Yeah, he came out. He had his own oh my God, not to be Stephanie McMahon and have personally appointed SWAT teams on Raw, but Dean Ambrose had a personally appointed SWAT team, which I've seen Dean Ambrose's work before. Why didn't he just bring his nunchucks to the ring?
Yeah. That's true.
Why did he have a personally?
Because Houston is a disgusting city, and they all came out wearing gas masks as not to breathe the vile air of these disgusting wrestling fans and people who make him sick, like Seth Rollins. He's just absolutely disgusted by Seth Rollins in Houston, Texas. Disgusted.
Of course, after that, we saw Seth Rollins come out and beat the crap out of everybody there.
Of course, he beat up, but Dean Ambrose got away, of course. Dean Ambrose beat him up with a gas mask. How much do you think that hurt? And why hasn't the Bullet Club done this?
They probably have.
Their logo is a freaking gas mask, isn't it? Oh, no, that's AJ Styles.
No, that's Marty Swift.
No, that's also AJ Styles. You remember he wrestled in Japan? He had that fake bullet, the Styles Club.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Up next, loser gets fired.
Loser gets fired. I shed a tear for this match, man.
Rhino versus Heath Slater.
I shed a tear for this one because I knew it was Rhino's time to go, and he's got a houseboat. I want to see him set sail off. Pirate Captain Rhino, if you will, on the SS Gore, or as Paul Heyman would say, Gore!
Is that Paul Heyman or Vince McMahon there?
Gore! Gore! But no, Heath Slater wins, and of course he doesn't get to keep his job. But he does! He gets a new job, Scully. What's Heath Slater's new job?
He is now a referee.
Referee, so he can, but can Heath Slater count to 3? 10 if needed be? Oh, Oh, Chris Jericho, you make everything better.
You say that Chris Jericho makes everything good.
Yes.
What about Joe Hendry? Could you imagine Joe Hendry, Chris Jericho, and Elias?
You don't even need Chris Jericho in there. You just need Elias to hit him with a guitar after he's done.
Walking with Elias.
Do you walk with Elias, Brooksy?
Yes, I do.
I walk with Elias. I'm glad he's a face. Elias had a segment on this show, didn't he?
He did. Of course, we have to quickly wrap it all up here. So Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal. Finn Balor wins. Ronda Rousey and Ember Moon versus Tamina and Nia. Again.
Doesn't matter. It's not about who Ronda's with anymore. It's just all about Ronda.
True. Now, we are going to have to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk SmackDown, and we'll talk more of the latest wrestling news. We might even have a caller call. You're listening to Wrestling with Ideas right here on CKDJ 107.
I'm Patricia Jagernoff. When you roll through the ride this weekend, be sure to have no alcohol in your system. That way, you won't have to park your ride, lose your license, pay more for insurance, and so much more. And you'll be keeping our roads safe. So plan ahead, designate a driver, take public transit, and take a cab. Find out more at rideblind.org.
We live in Canada. The weather here, especially in Ottawa, can get unpredictable. There are a number of things that can cause a down. Not the reason a downline is extremely dangerous. If you're in a vehicle, the safest place is to stay in that vehicle. Call 911 and stay calm. It could save your life.
Hey, it's hardcore legend Mick Foley, and you are listening to Wrestling with Ideas. Listen and learn and wrestle with ideas.
Oh yeah, it's me, it's that D.O. double man with no excuses. And alongside me, as always, is that Colin Double Crooked Letter.
What?
Well, you know how he always says Mr. Ass is that A double crooked letter?
Yeah.
Well, you're Scully, you got two L's in there.
Oh,
SCU double straight letter Y, Colin Scully.
Of course. Now, we are going to be talking, we're going to be stalling a little bit so that Matt can get his ass back.
We don't stall on this show. We're professionals. We broadcast to the world. This isn't amateur hour, folks. This is the real deal of wrestling radio and podcasts. That being said, Jinder Mahal lost on Raw. I'm upset. But let's be honest here. It wasn't as bad as, well, SmackDown this week. Wasn't that great?
SmackDown wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Honestly.
I still didn't think it was that great. Although I did appreciate Becky and Charlotte all in the ring, and they were bickering with each other.
Yeah.
And then we actually got to see Asuka speak English again, which is great.
Yeah.
When Charlotte said, "I beat you at WrestleMania," and Asuka says, "You beat me one time."
Yeah.
She's not wrong.
Definitely not. Now, of course, Mandy Rose and Charlotte, no. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville,
Not the Iconics, the cool ones.
no, defeated Asuka and Charlotte. Deville pinned Charlotte after Asuka hit her with a sliding knee.
Ooh, the
What?
sliding knee.
Deville pinned Charlotte after Asuka hit Charlotte?
Yep, Becky hit Charlotte. Charlotte retaliated but hit Asuka by mistake, to which Asuka said, "Oh yeah?" They're trying to build up that there's some tension between these particular three women before their match at TLC. So.
Oh, okay. No, it just sounded wrong to say.
What, that Sonya Deville pinned somebody?
No, that, well.
You seem so confused.
Yeah.
He is confused. Because
Anyways.
he doesn't understand. He doesn't get wrestling. I thought he was a fan. Of course, Sonya Deville's going to win a
Got
match.
half the brain.
Look at the statistics. When you go into a match, you have a 50% chance of winning, unless your name is Scott Steiner.
Jey Uso defeating Cesaro and Xavier Woods. Jey Uso
Man.
connected a super kick with Cesaro's chin to get the pinfall victory.
The worst part about this whole match is the waste of pancakes. I don't mind seeing the New Day come out with pancakes, but if you're just going to throw them on the floor, that makes me upset.
Eat the pancakes.
Exactly, Brooksy. Brooksy gets it.
There's another T-shirt. Eat the pancakes.
Walk with the pancakes?
Yes.
Who wants to walk with the New Day?
Our Truth and Carmella interrupted Ms. TV for a dance break.
Oh, this segment of Miss TV. My goodness. Ugh.
I'm gonna have to like underlay music under this segment here.
So
Daniel Bryan announced the Yes Movement is dead. This I forgot how much I loved seeing angry vegan Daniel Bryan.
No. It's angry hippie Daniel Bryan. Because he wasn't just mad at us for eating meat. He was mad at us for driving cars, man. Like, what the? No, sorry. It's the new Daniel Bryan, by the way. This ain't your mama's Daniel Bryan. This is the new Daniel Bryan.
Your mama's Daniel Bryan.
This ain't your daddy's Daniel Bryan, as Big E would say.
This is your mom.
This ain't your mama's Daniel Bryan. This is. Did you know that Daniel Bryan's child, his mama, is Brie Bella? What do you think Brie Bella thinks about all this, Scully?
I think she thinks whatever she thinks about Daniel Bryan, the same way that Renee Young thinks whatever she thinks about Dean Ambrose.
Man, I think it was ex-co-host of the show, Getty, posted something on his social media that said, all of this, so Renee, what's going on with Dean Ambrose stuff has got to be a rib on Renee Young.
Oh yeah,
it has to be. Because Dean probably doesn't discuss what he's going to be doing on Raw with her. He's probably like, yeah, see you after the show. I'll be waiting in the car. And then all of a sudden he does something and Renee's just like, well, I'm married to that.
I wonder if they're ever gonna break the so-called fourth wall or whatever.
They will. Probably during TLC, where like after a particularly nasty spot, Renee Young will rush to the side of what seems to be broken Dean Ambrose, and if WWE's smart, they're smart, she'll give him like a pair of brass knuckles like Maurice would, and it'll just knock out Seth Rollins.
And then they'll have Corey Graves ripping on her.
And then exactly the heel Corey Graves ripping on face Renee Young for helping her heel husband win.
You know what I would love? A double turn of the commentators. Have Renee Young turn heel. And then have Corey Graves turn face.
See, if Renee could do it, like, all she would have to say is, like, well, yeah, I let Dean win. I'm married to him. Champions make more money. I want a piece of that pie. I'm married to him. Like, of course.
True. Randy Orton defeating Jeff Hardy.
Boo! Although I am impressed with Randy Orton on this. When I timed it, he only took 4 minutes to get to the ring, as opposed to the usual 12.
Hardy laid Orton out on the announce table, climbed to the top rope, and was distracted by Samoa Joe, who showed up on the Titantron at a bar. Orton slithered into the ring and hit the RKO for the pinfall. After the match, Joe took a shot at Hardy's previous troubles with alcohol.
That's all right with me. I mean, Joe's a savage. He can do what he wants, but I'm still just sitting here watching, like, Jeff, go get your surgery, bud. Like,
when I was watching this, all I could think of was that segment on Raw. I think it has to be close to 5 years ago now, between Chris Jericho and CM Punk.
Oh, where he made him drink a beer?
It was whiskey. It was Jack, I think it was, and then Chris Jericho slipped as he was running.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
Yeah, and he poured it.
That entire scene just kept replaying in my head.
No, for me, it's just like Samoa Joe is just like, how do I get under the skin of Jeff Hardy? We'll mention his alcohol problem, and Jeff Hardy's like, yeah, I used to have an alcohol and drugs problem. Everybody knows this. Why are you bringing this up, Joe? Like, but I'm just watching this like, Jeff, go get your surgery, bud. Come back. Go hang out with Matt behind the scenes. Let's see what Jeff Hardy can book. Because most of his stuff when he was wrestling with Matt was booked by Michael Hayes.
Yeah.
So let's see what Jeff Hardy can book.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jeff Hardy book 205 Live.
Although I also would be terrified. Hey, TJ Perkins, do you think you can jump off of that? Like, no thanks, Jeff. Oh, come on, I'll show you how. Like, no, Jeff.
Jeff Hardy's like 80.
Oh, yeah.
In a retirement home, and he's still trying to jump off.
He's doing swanton bombs off whatever he can find.
Yeah.
Some custodian's changing a light bulb and leaves a ladder out. Put that away before Jeff and Matt see that.
Yeah. You see Jeff Hardy just on a walker.
Yeah, just racing towards the ladder, or Matt's trying to delete the lady at the front desk.
Delete.
Mr. Hardy, stop ringing the bell. That's for customer. Delete!
Of course, in the main event of Friday Night SmackDown, SmackDown Live on Tuesday nights.
Not yet, Scully.
Not yet, not until October of 2019. AJ Styles defeated The Miz. Bryan distracted Styles and Miz took advantage, hitting the skull-crushing finale for the 2 count.
Yeah, this
Bryan tried to interfere again, but Styles kicked him in the head. Styles reversed and Miz attacked and locked in the calf crusher for the tap.
But we also had this weird thing where it was like Daniel Bryan came out to attack AJ Styles, but Daniel Bryan's the heel and Miz is a face. But
is he though?
But the face Miz attacked also AJ Styles. Like, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Who's the heel and who's the face here?
What makes sense anymore in WWE?
Because the Miz was a heel forever and now he's a face. AJ Styles is blurring the lines, but of course he got punched in the groinal area. Who wouldn't be blurring the lines after that?
He gets hit there a lot.
Yeah, he's got a target on there. I don't know why, but I think he's already had his kids. I don't think he's looking for Heath Slater numbers. Is this the Heath Slater episode of Wrestling with Ideas?
Yes. Heck yeah.
He's just one man. Oh, he's just one man, but he's a one-man band.
There you go.
Speaking of one-man bands, those of you who tuned in noticed that we didn't have a show last week because Mr. Scully was out hanging out with one man in particular. I believe his name was PCO. PCO's making the news this week too, man.
That's very true. Now, I guess we should talk about the show that we were at. It was Matt's first ever wrestling show.
Yeah.
Matt,
I
give us some quick thoughts about some of the people you saw.
Some of the people.
Like wrestling in the ring. Like, give us your hot takes on, let's say, you know which one Evil Uno was?
Pardon me?
The big lucha with the mask?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what did you think about that guy? What's your opinions on Evil Uno?
Evil Uno, I liked him, but I didn't like the minions that came up.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't tell you about that. So when Evil Uno made his entrance, there were 4 little guys that came out all wearing Uno masks, dressed exactly like him, and they were basically acting like
his minions. Pretty
like
much.
you remember the John Cena entrance where he had like 10 people on each side of the ramp at WrestleMania 25 where they were all wearing John Cena outfits and that?
Okay.
It was the same sort of thing, except they got involved in the match.
That at least they got involved in the match,
Yeah.
because the one thing I hated is when Triple H had the 14 fake Triple H's at WrestleMania, and then also when The Undertaker would wrestle a match and he had all the druids around the ring.
True.
And they wouldn't even get involved. It's like,
Yeah.
he has literally an army of darkness. Why doesn't he use it?
Yeah, true. Now let's go through this match here. Let's go through the card rather. So, in the first match of the night, we had a fatal 4-way between Cecil Nix, Starboy Urban Miles, Scrapper James Stone, and the V-God, Von Vertigo.
I'm just going to guess that Cecil Nix won this match.
No.
No.
Who did win this match, man?
If you can't
Scrapper.
The Scrapper?
Scrapper, yeah, James Stone.
Yeah.
And then Ray, the Immaculate, Ray St. Jean,
Yeah.
versus Harry Wolfman.
Please tell me Harry Wolfman lost. He didn't. The guy who was pretending to be a werewolf.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think.
All right.
All I can remember is these, just before the.
Now, did he howl at anything, Scully?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your opinion of Harvey Wolfman?
Harry
Wolf. I'm sorry, it can't be Harvey. He's not IRS.
Pulled out a newspaper, just sitting there, and then all of a sudden he puts it down and takes a beat on it. And I'm like,
Oh, he did a Drake Maverick on a newspaper?
yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I believe another match on this card featured MVPs of 2 weeks ago's show, the Gymnasty Boys, I believe.
Yeah, the
Gymnasty
Gymnasty Boys.
Tell me about my new favorite indie tag team, the Gymnasty Boys.
Woo! Well, they're actually really good.
Okay.
They're really good, but I don't know how to swing this so it's PG. Because Scully, we were talking about, I was joking.
Do they bring up certain adult situations, would you say?
A couple times.
Yeah, a couple times.
Very. So you're saying that they could form a stable with Joey Ryan?
Oh, God.
Is that the angle we're going here for adult situations, that they could pair up with Joey Ryan?
Yeah, that's fair.
Alrighty. I could see that.
Yeah. Of course, Jonathan Ricken and his open contract had Jonathan Rukin up against the master of the Riverdance, Michael Flatley.
Okay, I don't know who either of those are, but this
For the
sounds
quickest
intriguing.
match of the night.
Basically, what happened is the match started. Jonathan Rukin kicked Flatley in the face
After
after a Riverdance from Flatley, and then he locked him in the coquina clutch and
tap it.
Okay.
Sheldon Jean
Sheldon G.
versus
Sheldon
Stu
G.
Grayson.
Sheldon G.
Stu won with the Daybreaker. Silesia Spark versus Jody Threat. Jody Threat won that match. Ben Tull.
That's it. It's actually an interesting thing because my girlfriend and I were discussing about our favorite wrestlers, and she actually brought up Jody Threat by name. I was actually impressed. I said, "Well, I don't even know who Jody Threat is," and she's like, "Oh, she was at that
skateboarder.
No, but Jody Threat. She was at the event that at the Hard Target.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she
Oh, yeah.
remembered her by name and everything, and I couldn't even tell you who she was at the time.
There you go.
So yeah, we're Ottawa wrestlers. Jody Threat. No, you're a skateboarder, but hey, you're getting out there. People are getting behind you, Jody.
Very true. Very true.
Now you were saying
Ben Tull versus Psycho Mike.
Psycho Mike. Did Psycho Mike win?
No.
But was he psycho?
Yeah.
Yes. So
His entrance is one of the.
Let the newbie tell me a story here.
after it actually involves the fans. The fans who made my night. Like they were hilarious.
A good Gatineau show will do that, I
Oh, yeah.
imagine.
So Psycho Mike, he lost the match, and he stood there thinking he won the match.
Okay.
And so he stands up and he's cheering like, "Yeah, won." All you hear from the fans is "Get out."
Ha!
Well, there were some other words. in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
that-
Get the out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the F out.
Okay, so I guess he doesn't have a nice relationship with the fans in Gatineau.
No, he does not.
Unfortunately for Psycho Mike, but fortunately he's not Psycho Sid because he would have broken his leg in that match and he would have half the brain that I do.
Yep.
Of course, in the main event, PCO
PCO.
defeating Evil Uno in what could have been one of his last indie matches ever. As a couple days after this past Thursday, the 29th of November, it was announced that PCO has signed with Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Who said? I don't watch much Ring of Honor, so I'm totally out of the loop on everything. Is Jay Lethal still the champion?
Is Jay Lethal still the champion? I am not sure. Let me check it out.
Because last I remembered, I saw Jay Lethal. He was at All In and he was wrestling as Black Machismo.
Yeah, I think.
And that's the last I saw Jay Lethal.
Yeah, so right now, the champion is...
The champion is, drum roll please.
Yeah, it is Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal! Woohoo!
Now, we are going to have to go to a commercial break as I deal with a special character here. He's messaging me on Facebook and he's trashing me. Very effusive. So as to not get angry on air, we're going to cut to a commercial break. When we come back, we might be talking to this guy on air. You're listening to Wrestling with Ideas on CKDJ 107.9.
Timmy is an average boy. His father's name is Roy. Even though Roy works every day, the bills are hard to pay. When Timmy needed school supplies, the list was a surprise.
Well, he's not actually trashing me, but it's an
Ian Rito
Is he going in here?
Resource Center.
Yeah.
Their tools for school program gave Timmy
I can't wait to talk to
and
Mike.
books.
I will
Roy
say
could
that
focus
was-
on what he
that's-
Help Timmy and others see a world of possibility. Donate to the Nepean, Rito, and Osgood Community Resource Center.
I'm a community and I have cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy affects my walking. Because of this, I've been using a wheelchair all my life. Using a manual chair was tough for me. I had trouble doing things such as pushing myself. When my power chair showed up, I was excited I could do things I couldn't do before and I can get around easily. These diseases help my family buy my power chair. To donate, please
You remember how to work the phone, right?
Helping
Yeah.
kids with physical disabilities succeed.
Hey, it's hardcore legend Mick Foley, and you are listening to Wrestling with Ideas. Listen and learn and wrestle with ideas.
welcome back inside the CKDJ studios right here for Wrestling with Ideas at CKDJ 1079, Ottawa's new music. I am the music man, Colin Scully, alongside me, the man with no excuses, Jonathan Skews, Puppies, and MJB Matthew Brooks. Heck yeah. All right, it looks like, okay. So I don't know who this caller is, but it looks like we do have a caller.
The phone lines are lighting up as we broadcast to the world.
All right, you're live on Wrestling with Ideas. Who are we talking to? Hello.
Yeah. No, I got everything on.
Do you?
Yeah.
Having some difficulties here. While we get the phone call, I'm going to tell you guys a nice story about how at C4 Hard Target, I was out there, first C4 show in a long time, and I saw a beautiful match between three individuals, I should say, as the other member of the successful tag team champions couldn't make it, and we were treated to something special when MVP and Sheldon Jean won the C4 Tag Team Championship. I don't know why I thought of this, but it was just a nice, beautiful moment in Ottawa wrestling, I find, as our phone lines are lighting up again.
All right, you're live on Wrestling with Ideas. Who are we talking to right now?
Again. Okay, so another thing about C4 is you gotta admit the Kobe Durst. He's no longer the C4 Hard Target Championship. Pardon me for having a pay-per-view as a championship, but Kobe Durst lost. I'm curious to see where he's going. He's the Matt Riddle of the Ottawa wrestling scene, in my opinion. You can't disagree with that. I don't know, can you?
Hello, are you still on the line? Oh, hi. How's it going, man? Who are we talking to?
Oh, the tag team champion that I was just talking about. How are you today, sir? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. How's Sheldon doing these days? Well, I don't know. Some may argue that he's a better singles star than a tag team star, but I'm sure you would defend that no problem, wouldn't you?
Very true. Now, we will talk a little bit more about your recent win at the C4 Tag Championships at Hard Target.
On his birthday. Do not forget that. Do not forget it was his birthday that he won it.
It was. But recently, this past Thursday, November 29th, you came out at the beginning of Nutse Hoset Volume 2 to announce that you are now part owner. Talk a little bit about how that partnership came to be. Are you going to be stepping into the ring at Volume 3, perhaps?
Cut the fat. That's not a jab at anybody that names rhymes with Beeble Suno, is it?
Very true. Now, back to your win at C4's Hard Target.
On his birthday, mind you.
On his birthday.
It was also a gift from Sheldon.
It was also a gift from... Very true. Now, that is true. Now, you could argue that your win against Gabriel Fuerza, one half of Fight or Flight, was a little bit unfair, as Von Vertigo wasn't able to make it to the event.
I disagree. I'm sure. I think for one individual who was facing two individuals, I thought he fought valiantly, and you deserved that victory because I thought he gave his 100% and you still beat him.
Now, this Saturday is your next upcoming match. You are in a 4-man or an 8-man, I guess you could say, tag team match at Acclaim Pro Wrestling's Christmas Purge. You're teaming up with longtime tag team partner Prince Raheem Ali. Very true. Now, do you have anything that you would like to say to your opponents in that match? Yeah.
Yep.
James. So it's no. So Dash Bison, Stu Grayson are actually on your side here. Yeah. Yeah. So Dash and Stu.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So on the other side, it is James Stone, Dino Benjamin, and Logan Reed and Spunk, also known as #TheBest. Now, let's say that you win both that you have the C4 championship and the C4 Tag Team Championship, and somewhere down the line you win the APW Championship or Tag Team Championship back. Is there a chance that you defend either of those titles in Gatineau at Mid 07? Right, now last question. You had mentioned in your opening speech at Volume 2 that you weren't going to have any of the hardcore matches. What
do you mean? Why would you ask this question? He's keeping himself in pristine shape for our entertainment. Of course he's going to stay out of the hardcore matches. Have you seen his face? You don't want to let that bleed. You don't want to damage that.
Very true. Now, MVP Michael Von Payton, thank you very much for calling into the show. This is definitely one of the more entertaining interviews that we've done as of late. Is there anything you want to say? What are your closing words? All right, man. Thank you for calling into the show and have a good one. All right, bye now. All right, that definitely was MVP. I think he's taking a liking to you more than he's taking a liking to me. You almost stood up to the.
Well, he's the MVP of Ottawa Wrestling. Not only was he tag champions in another promotion, and not only is he C4 tag champions, but not only did he win that title on his birthday, but now I'm hearing he's the true MVP. So he's the true MVP.
Yeah. Everyone loves Skuse more than Scully.
Oof. Let's not get some backseat heat on the radio.
No, yeah, well that's.
We'll get that Barrett. We'll get that Ryback heat going. By the way, I'm Ryback.
Okay. He goes here.
Feed me more.
Feed me more. We're gonna have to feed the radio waves. One more commercial break when we come back. We're gonna be doing some fantasy booking here on the show. You're listening to Wrestling with Ideas on CKDJ.
With today's modern technology, staying up to date and in touch has never been so easy. Luckily for us all, safety is no exception. The Algonquin College Safety app offers students the opportunity to stay connected to our security team with emergency notifications and emergency procedure manual, and the ability to call or email Algonquin Security directly from the app. You can feel secure knowing that help is only a touch away. Stay safe. Get the Algonquin College mobile safety app.
Scares you? Clowns? Spiders? Small spaces?
Sounded like a million-dollar man.
You think that's scary? Imagine living with a lung disease. For some, having trouble breathing is a terrifying reality they must face daily. When you can't breathe, nothing else matters. Visit lung.ca to support life-saving lung research. If you want more information about the health of your lungs, call the Lung Health Info Line at 1-888-344-LUNG.
This message is brought to you by the Ontario Lung Association.
American males, American males, American males, American males. I'm buff by the stuff and the girls just can't get enough.
Hey, this is Buck Bagwell. You're listening to Wrestling with Ideas.
Welcome back inside the CKDJ studios, right here at Wrestling with Ideas on CKDJ 107.9 Ottawa's New Music. Brooksy stepped out to take another bathroom break. I myself am, of course, the music man, Colin Scully. Alongside me, as always, the man with no excuses, Jonathan Skuse.
And I, in turn, am joined by Jim Cornette. Yeah, that's right. I don't understand. You see, you have these mixed match challenge matches, and the winner gets number 30 at the Rumble. But what happens if Kurt Hawkins wins? That's a good point, Cornette. Yeah. What happens if Kurt Hawkins wins? Cornette, what happens if Kurt Hawkins and Ember Moon win the mixed match challenge? Scully, what does this mean if Kurt Hawkins is number 30 in the Royal Rumble January 28th?
Thank you, F you, bye. No. If Ember Moon, I wouldn't actually mind seeing Ember Moon winning the Women's Royal Rumble. I think she could do something.
Yeah, it would be a nice push. She's definitely slated for maybe not right away, but bigger things in the women's division.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm not asking about Ember Moon. I'm asking about Kurt Hawkins, the man who hasn't won a match. Stephanie McMahon did not allow their mixed match victory to count towards his pro wrestling victories because Ember Moon got the pin. So he's still having a little bit of an undefeated streak, if you would.
Very true. It's almost as if he was like, it's almost as if it was a SmackDown on the Survivor Series thing.
Yeah, well, I think Kurt Hawkins, and then get this, if Kurt Hawkins wins the Royal Rumble, he didn't pin or submit anybody. So that also wouldn't count as a pinfall or a submission. So he could be...
Yeah. I don't know. Now, are we going to go all the way with the fantasy booking here? Like, what do you want to do?
I don't know what you want to hear. It all depends on what the world wants to hear. If we got people on our YouTubes shouting us with things that they want to hear, I'd love to service the people here. That's what we do. We're all about the listeners here.
Yeah, very true. Now, if you guys are listening and you want to call in, please go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
Love to hear your thoughts.
That number again is 613-750-2535. That's 613-750-2535.
John, if you keep getting hurt on the construction site, you might have to go into radio, man. Jeez.
Oh, you know, I might take a couple courses here and there, and then all of a sudden I'll be the new face of Wrestling with Ideas, and I'll just NWO take over, or actually NXT take over, if you will, this so-called wrestling product, much as MVP has taken over. All right, I'm going to stop kissing MVP's butt for a minute here. But yes, no, look out, because I'm taking over.
Yeah. Already, wait, hold on.
Speaking of taking over, this is how it's all going to start, because we're going to fantasy book the Jonathan Skews takeover of Wrestling with Ideas. And it all starts with you buying my t-shirts more than anybody else's on Wrestling with Ideas. Scully, let's talk about t-shirts.
How so do you want to talk about t-shirts?
They are for sale, correct?
Correct. Wrestling with Ideas shop.com. You can check that out there. I'm just pulling up the site because I even forget what kind of t-shirts we've got up there. All right, so we've got the Wrestling with Ideas logo tee, which is straight up just the Wrestling with Ideas.
That supports
with the arms.
That supports all three members of Wrestling with Ideas.
Then we've got individualized t-shirts. We've got the Music Man 316, Brooksy 316, and No Excuse 316.
Yeah, we've got a No Excuse 316. So vote for your favorite. Vote by purchasing your favorite of the 316 series. And who knows, if you guys have some suggestions, we're open to suggestions for individual and wrestling t-shirts. Brooksy, what would you like to see on your t-shirt? I had a couple ideas about my t-shirt, but
I've actually put up the DXCuse t-shirt.
Oh, I had a couple more ideas of just awesome t-shirts for Wrestling with Ideas, but I want to hear Brooksy's idea for a t-shirt.
Honestly, I have no ideas. Because Scully and I, we talked during our afternoon classes, and really, I don't have any ideas.
You just want a t-shirt with your name on it.
Yeah, basically.
You're just a greedy SOB. I had an idea. Now, it's a little abstract, but we're wrestling with ideas. So I had an idea for a t-shirt. Who would have more ideas than the genius Lanny Poffo? And in order to wrestle with said ideas, I think that there should be a t-shirt of two men, perhaps myself and my co-host Colin Scully, giving Lanny Poffo a concerto, and then just wrestling with ideas.
Okay, so are we just gonna do like that sad Photoshop job of like
giving Lanny Poffo a concerto?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
is it gonna be like you know those old magazine commercial things where like there's just the heads of two people photoshopped onto another body kind of
onto
thing?
like bathroom stick figures?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. You know what we should do? We should do you know how there's the panda thing?
Yeah.
We should have one. I should Photoshop it twice so that I have two of them.
Here's a oh my God, chair. The guy is on his hands and knees, and it's David Arquette, and it's somebody holding the Wrestling with Ideas light bulb, and they're about to smash Arquette's neck. Wow, that got dark. I didn't think of that one through.
Hit me.
No, because David Arquette.
Knowledge.
David Arquette 3 weeks ago was smucked with a light tube. Wrestling
Yeah,
with
but he
Ideas
can't
logo.
do that because then he's gonna want royalties.
Well, if he comes on the show, he can have all the royalties he wants.
Oh, I got an idea.
What's this?
You gotta have something with my segment of Stupid Question Time with Brooksy.
Yeah, and
I'm
it's
just gonna Photoshop your face onto a class.
no. You photo. What you do is you have a picture of Brooksy's face on the shirt, and like because his segment is called Stupid Question Time, you just have a shirt that says "This shirt is stupid," and then it's Brooksy's face.
Yeah.
You just got buried, pal.
I'm fine with that. 'Cause I don't know anything about wrestling.
He's a heel.
I don't know anything about wrestling.
Vince Russo, is that you?
No, Vince Russo knows more about wrestling than I do, but you don't have to be a Vince Russo to know that MVP is the future of Ottawa. All right, hey, I could kiss your butt too. All you got to do, local Ottawa talent, is call into the show. And also, I'm calling out Dick Justice. Dick Justice, I think I should interview you, pal. I think we got a lot to talk about. I was watching a Dick Justice match the other day where he pulled a gun out. Have you seen this match? And I believe it was Jeff Cobb. I think it was Jeff Cobb. I'm not too sure, but somebody in retaliation to Dick Justice pulling out a gun pulled out a donut. Yeah, and threw it into the crowd, and Dick Justice went after it. I don't know. I think if you're looking for a new indie wrestler to watch, Dick Justice.
Very true. He occasionally comes through Ottawa.
Exactly. He was at the C4 show, and that's where I first saw him, and that's the guy for me.
I would love to see Dick Justice versus Fallah Bahh.
You know, Dick Justice has wrestled Congo Kong.
Really?
In TNA.
Really?
He was part of TNA, I think in 2011, 2013, where he was Richard Justice, and he was the standby wrestler, where if somebody chickened out or couldn't wrestle, he was the fill-in, aka the jobber. And of course, he got squashed by Congo Kong. This is before he had Jimmy Jacobs, I believe.
Congo, yeah.
Yeah. Scully, have you been watching your NXT UK?
Not as much recently. I have to catch up.
Have you been watching the Twitter of NXT UK superstars?
Again, like, are you talking Rhea Ripley?
I'm talking about also that Pete Dunne tweet where it kind of sounded like Triple H wrote it instead about Triple H and the WWE locking down the UK indie scene because of something we haven't talked about yet, All Elite Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think it's going to fall through.
I don't know. It's interesting to see. I think this has as much chance of succession as the XFL does. And that being said, Scully, if you were All Elite Pro Wrestling and you could pick one talent from Ring of Honor, one talent from WWE, and one talent from TNA, no matter how big, to sign to your company, who'd you pick?
Am I allowed to go into NXT UK or to the Performance Center from WWE?
If they're in Ring of... Oh, sure, absolutely. WWE is WWE, but you only get one.
Okay. From TNA, Rado.
Okay.
From Ring of Honor, Silas Young.
Ooh, nice pick.
And from WWE, Walter.
Walter.
Such a generic.
Walter is scary though. He chops you. Have you seen the videos going around of Sin Cara chopping people on Mexican TV?
Yeah.
Woof.
Okay, Walter does sound scary, just the name.
Walter. No, Walter. If I was out there, I'd have to say that if I was All Elite and I get one of each, TNA, probably pick Eli Drake. I think if I was picking for Ring of Honor, I'd pick Cheeseburger. Just because I'd make him a jobber because I don't like him.
Yeah.
And if I was picking someone from WWE, I would actually try to get one of my old boys back, whether it would be AJ or Finn. Try sweet talking them into some All Elite Wrestling. See if they want to get the band back together.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I will say this. If any of you fans have any stupid questions, feel free to tweet me at Radio MJB, and you can be featured on my site.
That's right. We're giving away features here with the last 30 seconds of the match. You can follow me on Twitter at No Excuse and Colin Scully at
Colin Scully, capital VR. That's right. I have to plug that. Last week, Victory Ring presented Rise or Fall, and I'm going to be doing commentary with the man they call me Zach McGibbon. Anytime now, as soon as I get those matches sent over to me, you can check that out. I'll have updates as they come along. You can check my YouTube channel out at Call the Music Man. Of course, if you're already watching this on YouTube, then you'll know what my channel is called.
For those of you tuning in, oh!
And that brings us to an end here on Wrestling with Ideas. As always, have a good
Broadcasting at